And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to the grand finals of ESL Open Cup Asia number 221. Oh boy, it's been a long broadcast here. It's been a long tournament, but we have finally made it here to the grand finals, and we are here to crown our champion, our Terran champion. But which Terran is the question? And in the chat, do you have an answer? Spawning in the bottom right hand corner, we have our South Korean Terran player, the blue Terran representing Shopify Rebellion. It is ByuN. And spawning in the top left hand corner, going for a proxy 2-rags. Let's go as we pop off here in game one. We have the South Korean Terran player, the red Terran, representing Team Liquid. It is Cure. There it is. The 2-rags is upon us here. Cure being very, very risky with this build, going for a proxy 2-rags. This is not an all-in, but this is very committed. Meanwhile, ByuN, despite the fact that we're loading into Side Delta known for being a defensive map, Side Delta known for economic openers, it is a double gas opener. What does that mean? Double gas means a delayed CC, means a faster factory. This is ideal for ByuN, because if he did go for a faster command center, then he could be in some trouble against the proxy of Cure. So the dice are rolled, essentially. You know, we're picking our builds, and ByuN, I want to give him the edge for the time being, as there we go. The factory is in production. SV will confirm this. Cure is aware of what is going on, and we'll see how Cure is able to approach this, as the SVs are racing back home as we speak, and Cure, I'm sure, is working on his transition. I'm sure he will soon be working on his own factory back at home. Ooh, as ByuN moves out with his first Reaper, by the way, he doesn't know there was no SCV scout. There was no SCV scout here by ByuN. He's out of position. Reaper's out on the map. And meanwhile, we're banking up those Reapers here by Cure, and he's going in. He goes straight for the main base. Does delay the CC on the low ground. Getting a kill on that worker. Hellion is on the way. Boys are going to have to be pulled. There it is. Boys are being pulled so far. Good control here out of ByuN. Does force back the army, and there it is. CC on the high ground. CC is on the way. CC is on the high ground here, and from here we're going to be just chilling out. We're going to be transitioning into a longer game. Cure is going to be expanding, likewise so is ByuN. Cure is going to be on location because he has map control. ByuN going to be a little bit more passive, a little bit more secure here in the main instead. There we go. And yeah, despite the chaotic or spicy start from Cure, we're going to be easing our way into this. We have our follow-up on the way. Is going to be a medevac from ByuN, setting up for a bit of a drop instead. Interesting. We'll see if ByuN can get anything done here with his drop play. For now, going to be dealing with this Rax again. Such an annoyance here, delaying the command center even further for ByuN. This will eventually be cleaned up. Ooh, as Mass Reaper is moving out. I mean, we can see that ByuN, his army is a little bit busy dealing with this Rax, which means there's an opening and we can go straight into the main mineral line. The Reapers, they try to dive in. We are in position though, we do deflect them. And we do see ByuN going for his own drop. It is going to be a Hellion Reaper drop actually towards the main base of Cure. See if he can get it off. While Cure a little bit, yeah, just setting up back at home. Getting into his one-on-one, getting into his own defensive cyclones. Again, the cyclone in the new patch has been adjusted quite a bit. It's not as powerful as it once was. It's not as, again, dominant as it once was, but still good defensively here in TvT. It was in the past, it still is now. As we're able to focus this down, but some good target firing out of ByuN. He gets 6 SCVs. Ooh, almost gets 7. Big volley went off towards the end. 6 workers go down, drop across map, delays the third base, also scouts the would-be third base of ByuN as well. Kure knows. Now we have to make a choice. He sees the third base, sees it's halfway done. Reapers, they come in from behind. Getting more SCV kills. Despite that, ByuN still has the worker lead. Still has the slightly better economy. And ByuN also has that third base. So Kure, do we go for a 2-base all-in? Do we pull the boys? I mean, with the Raven, with the interference matrix, he has potential to break this defensive position on 2 bases. True. Does have that available, but thankfully we're not going for the all-in. There it is. Third CC is on the way for Kure. He is working on that next step. Go job is going to be threatening the main. Rallying reinforcements outside of the natural. And basically Kure just containing ByuN, keeping him on his toes. Even though ByuN had the faster third base, even though it's already in orbital, you can see here that ByuN cannot expand. At least that's the hope that Kure has. He can delay the expansion for as long as he can while he gets into his own. See if that continues to be the case. Again, ByuN most likely is going to not move out until he at least has stim. Building up his tank counts. He has his interference matrix. Stim +1 is on the way. Kure working on his own double E base for a 1-1 upgrade timing. Even getting into 2-2. He's going to be playing catch up with those upgrades. But again, at least is containing his opponents. So ByuN finally going to be looking to expand. You can see here as he's expanding, stim is finishing. Is lined up. Ooh, one of the tanks is about to get caught out though. Oh. Ravens pull back. Ravens are saved. ByuN not losing anything so far. Good defense here by ByuN. Cyclone's coming in from behind. Looks like we want that Raven. We're going for the Ravens. Big disables here on the tanks, but the Marines, they stim on forward. Remember, stim is done. And we can just hunt this all down. A good cleanup here by ByuN, and Kure, he overextends far too heavily here. Bleeding out almost every single unit. Down to 1 Cyclone. Will manage to get away. Tank does siege. Even the Raven survived. I'm a little bit in shock. I thought it was certain that at least 1 Raven would go down to the Cyclones, but no. The Raven survived. The tank survived as well. ByuN has a massive lead. You can see here 4 tanks to the 1 of Kure. He's got double the Raven count, or 2 Ravens to 1. Higher Marine counts, higher SCVs. ByuN is ahead in almost in basically every single metric here. Now, what's important though is that these advantages, they're slight advantages, and they can be overcome in TvT. Like, TvT is very much so about positional play. You can be down in supply, down in tanks, down in Marines, but still win a fight. As long as you can outposition your opponent. That is easier said than done. As ByuN is moving out. ByuN is moving out, yeah, disables the tanks, makes his way into the natural base, and there's nothing to stop him. There's just nothing here. Tank does go down. GG gets called. The writing was on the wall, and ByuN takes game number 1. Whew. GG. A solid game there by ByuN. Again, it was just a really rough start, seeing that Kure went for a proxy 2-racks, and we saw that it kind of fell on its face. Didn't really accomplish too much. He was killing some SCVs, but he was also losing SCVs back at home. Again, it was very fortunate that ByuN had decided to go for a double gas opener instead. So ByuN had just a much easier time handling that situation. and dealing with the proxy. As we're now getting into game number 2. Now, as a reminder, it is a best of 5, so even though ByuN has a lead here, there is plenty of opportunity for Cure to bounce back, and I want to believe he can. I want to believe he will. As game number 2 is going to be on Golden Aura, another one of the older maps, a map that we're a lot more used to and accustomed to. Do we go for another proxy? I wouldn't put it past our players here. As spawning in the top left-hand corner of Golden Aura, we have our South Korean Darren player representing Shopify Rebellion, leading the series 1-0. It is ByuN. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, sending out an SEV. Sending out 2 SEVs. It's another proxy Rax. God damn it. We have the red Terran player representing Team Liquid. If at first you don't succeed, try and try again, as we're going for another proxy Rax. It is Cure. Now, to be fair, what are the chances that ByuN goes for a double gas opener 2 games in a row? Right? Likewise, what are the chances that Cure goes for a proxy Rax 2 games in a row? Now, it is a double gas opener. God damn it. Okay, so we have mirrored builds from game 1. It is the exact same setup here from game number 1, where ByuN opens up double gas, which means a faster factory, which means a safer opener overall. Cure throws caution to the wind, takes a risk here going 2 Rax Reaper, but unfortunately for Cure, his opponent will have the tools to defend. Emphasis on the tools. It doesn't mean that ByuN has already won, it doesn't mean that he's already shut this down. It does come down to his control, it does come down to his micro, it does come down to the execution of the defense. So we'll see if he can pull this off. Reapers are amassing. Once again, ByuN does not go for an SCV scout, so he's in the dark as to what's going on. Doesn't know to be wary of Reapers. Doesn't know to be wary here, as here we go, the Reapers are on the way. We're just banking them up, amassing them, and here we go, 2 Reapers, they head in towards that main base. They're looking to try and delay the factory. It looks like they will. Factory is going to be delayed by a couple of seconds. More boys are being pulled. He goes for the Reaper. But it looks like he will not get the Reaper. Ooh, 1 Reaper goes down to the boys. That should not have happened. Cure bleeding out of units, doesn't get ByuN's. And just like that, ByuN's held. Just like that, ByuN, he finishes the factory. Hellion's on the way. He will bleed out 1 SCV here on the low ground. But ByuN, he's weathered the storm. He's made it through the worst of it. You can see here, ByuN with the high ground advantage, gets a couple of free shots in. And ByuN, he can expand from here. He is expanding as he's taking his natural in his main. Cure transitioning back at home, getting to his factory. Working towards that factory instead. So just like that, ByuN, he's ahead in SCVs, he's ahead in bases, he's ahead in tech with a faster starport as well. Everything is coming up ByuN. Cure, he risked it all here with a proxy Rax, but again, he gambled. Didn't gamble well. Ooh, he even gets his Reapers caught out. This is huge. In 1, 2, 3 Reapers fall. GG gets called with the death of those Reapers. There was nothing. There was 0 back at home to defend. A big oversight there by Cure. Caught with his pants down. And just like that, ByuN takes a 2-0 lead. GG. Again, remember, Cure, he still only just had his factory finishing up back at home, which meant 0 units to defend. He had his Raxes floating back home as well, so to lose all of his Reapers out on the map, that was it. That was his army. That was game then and there. A big misstep by Cure, and now he's in a lot of trouble. Now he's up against the wall. Remember, it's a best of 5. That means first to 3 is going to be our champion this week. First to 3. ByuN needs 1 more. Uno más. The question becomes, as we're loading into Crimson Court, do we go for another proxy 2-racks? Do we go for another double gas opener? Is it happening again? Are we stuck in a loop and never to break out? Oh boy, it's possible. It is possible. Let's go. Here we go. As we're loading into Crimson Court, and spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Crimson Court, we have our South Korean Terran player, the blue Terran, leading the series 2-0. Automas, one more is all he needs. SCV's moving out. No shot, Bobby, no shot. Second SCV's moving out. He's still gonna get 3 games in a row. No shot. 3 games in a row. If your first don't succeed, try again. Ay. In the bottom left-hand corner, we have the South Korean Terran player representing Shopify Rebellion. It is ByuN. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, going for another proxy 2-racks, 3 games in a row. Representing Team Liquid, it is Cure. Now, to be fair, it's a single gas opener. To be fair, this third time is the charm. True, that's the saying, right? Third time's the charm. This is best case scenario for Cure. This is a racks expand setup here by ByuN. Single gas opener. This is going to be for a CC on the low ground. This means that the factory is going to be delayed. This means that Cure can pop off with these Reapers. He can pop off, he can bank up these Reapers, dive into the main base, he will have the Reaper advantage. Boys are going to have to be pulled. It's going to be a very messy defense here for ByuN. Not impossible, but mess. How does he know? It's, okay, so because it's a single gas opener, he no Reaper. There is no Reaper available here. He goes, but he still goes for a racks into factory nonetheless. Marine first, then into Reaper, then into Hellion. Interesting. Okay, is this gonna work out here as we're looking, we're scouting, we're checking? This first Marine is not gonna be ideal. Of course, it cannot regenerate its HP, and it's not as mobile as other Reapers are. Here we go. Cure dives into the main base. Marine is in position. Yeah, forced to back off. The Marine is gonna be hunted down. Yeah, CC and low ground is going to be delayed as well. Good damage dealt so far by Cure. Diving into the main. Hellion's in production. Boys have to be pulled. So far, good control here out of ByuN, but the Reaper count is getting higher and higher. We get 2 SCVs. The Hellion has arrived. And ByuN is going to be able to hold on. Again, it does feel like a bit of a greedier defense here out of ByuN, but he is pulling it off so far. As I say that, ooh, bleeds out the Hellion. Hellion goes down, 4 SCVs, the Reaper as well. This could just be too much damage. This is snowballing out of control. 5 SCV kills. And Cure, he's popping off. He's dealing critical damage, 7 worker kills. Again, you can see here that he even forced to cancel the natural base. Cure's ahead. For the first time this series, this build has worked out. Again, thankfully for Cure, it was not a double gas opener, so we saw that the Marines were having such a much harder time dealing with this. No Reaper either. And Cure, he will take the economic advantage. He's up in workers, he's up in bases. ByuN, it's going to be an uphill battle here for the Blue Terran. It is going to be an uphill battle as we delay the CC once again. And again. This may just be game, to be honest. This feels like too much damage. Marines are falling. We're getting some of the Hellion as well. Cyclone finally comes out. And finally we can expand. But even then, Cure, he has his own Cyclone. Gets his own lock on. Boys are being pulled to repair. Ooh, Cyclone falls. GG gets caught. It's just too much damage. the writing was on the wall, and Cure, he does fight back, does put a point on the board. GG. Okay. Again, Cure, he gambled quite a bit there, and I wonder, fourth time the charm? Do we go for another proxy Turax in game number 4 as well? It has finally worked, right? As you can see here, when it comes to proxy Turax, it is hyper dependent on your opponent's build. It is hyper dependent. If your opponent is playing safe, then they defend and they can win. If their opponent's being greedy, then we can punish them, as we saw in that last game. So a lot of this does depend on the openers. These have been some very quick games so far in this series. We'll see, as game number 4 is going to be on Dynasty. Oh boy. That is the Pocket Goal Base map. It's crazy, it's wild. And you often see this map vetoed, but not here, not on this TvT. I'm ready for it. So here we go, we're getting into game number 4, and spawning in the top right hand corner of Dynasty, we have the South Korean Terran player, the blue Terran representing Shopify Rebellion, still one game away from becoming this week's champion. Can he win it all here and now? It is ByuN. And spawning in the bottom left hand corner, we have his opponent, we have the other South Korean Terran player, the red Terran, fighting back in that last game, finally having his build work, and this time not going for any kind of proxy rack shenanigans. The Rax is back at home instead. Representing Team Liquid, it is Cure. No gas. Show me the CC first. I love ByuN. He's crazy. He has balls like no other. CC first here at ByuN. He calls Cure's bluff. Cure, he has proxy Turaxed every single game. 1, 2, and 3. And if Cure had proxy Turax here in game 4, it's an insta-win. This is a CC first into a Rax. It would have been an insta-win here for Cure. But ByuN, he says, you know what? Your build finally worked. You're not going to do it again. You know, you're not going to do it again. You don't have the balls for it, mate. Not at all. And ByuN, he gets away. He gets away with it. He calls Cure's bluff, and it pays off. Crazy. CC first. CC first is going to pay off here. From here, we're going to be able to saturate this goal base very quickly. Again, the big feature of Dynasty is pocket goal bases. It sounds crazy because it is. It's wild. And Cure is going to take it. Sorry, ByuN is looking to take advantage of that. We'll see how he is able to. Here we go. See in the chat, they don't want to play a long game. That is not true. Cure doesn't want to play a long game. ByuN, he's been going for standard openers. It's been Cure who's been proxying every time. And again, here he's finally going for a more standard build. Reaper dips in. He should be able to get a read here on the gas mining. On the gas left in the geysers as well. Clutch repairs out of ByuN, making sure he doesn't lose anything, actually. The Reaper does no damage. I mean, is forcing lost mining time, true. And there we go. One SCV finally goes down. He gets eyes on the factory. Nice body block there from ByuN. Does wall that Reaper in. Ooh, very nice stutter stepping. ByuN, he shuts down the Reaper, and Cure, upon seeing the timing of that factory, should be aware that it's been a more economic build from his opponents. It's already an orbital, it's already mining. Cure is so far behind here in comparison. But he's rallying his units across the map, and he can deny mining here. This is the downside of this pocket gold, is it can be abused by some range units. Cyclone is in position, Marines as well. And we can deny mining here from the natural base. As I say that, Cyclone does get locked on. Oh, again, we are able to outrange those Marines as well, getting very low, but it looks like ByuN can finally get back to mining. should be safe and sound. We have a second Cyclone moving out. On the right-hand side, ByuN settling into his 1-1-1 setup, throwing down his second racks. Soon, I'm sure, throwing down his third racks. We do see Kira trading quite well here with his Cyclone, dragging the army out of position, opening up the left-hand side. Does get another SCV. Tank a little bit late to the party. A little bit late to the party here. Oh! As Kiri's actually doing a surprising amount of damage with this so far. Looking at the units all tab here. 6 SCVs, 3 Marines. Pretty good damage dealt by Kir. As he is coming in from the left-hand side as well. Is reinforcing, more Cyclones, has a Raven. Behind this, getting into his bio production. Third CC's on the way. Oh, we did manage to get 7 SCVs though. Very nicely done with that Liberator. Very necessary just because this third base is so late for ByuN. Disables the tank, and despite the repair, it's not good enough. Too much DPS, the tank falls. Tank goes down, Cyclone jump into the main. Kiri's pulling ByuN apart. Trying to at least. Yeah, is trying to, once again, going for another disable. This time the tank is out of range. Much better positioning out of ByuN. Cleans up the drop in the main, loses 2 SCVs. And because of the map control here for Cure, even though his base is also exposed, has been left untouched. ByuN unable to harass. As ByuN moves out, Kiri just walks into the main. No care in the world here. Boys are being pulled. Oh, and ByuN, he's in a world of hurt. Autos hearts are thrown down. So many SCVs going to be falling. And ByuN, he's feeling pretty all in. The third CC was delayed. Hasn't finished. Has not completed. We even shut down one of the medevacs. Oh my god. He's popping off. Just pulling him left and right, this way and that. ByuN, he cannot keep up. Ooh, does have a tank in position. Big tank volleys going off on those Cyclones. Much better defense this time. ByuN moves out. Does have the supply lead. Does have the army supply lead. As he's down in SCVs. Threatens the job. There is a tank in position. Ooh, did you pick up a Raven? Good pickup. Managed to get one Raven. Ooh, medevac goes down. Yeah, tank falls as well. It looks like Cure, he will force his army back. Does for the most part clean it up, and Curie's happily mining on 3 bases. ByuN is so far behind, just now getting his own. And can he even hold on to it? Can he even save it? As basically the name of the game for ByuN is just turtle. It's just turtle up, absorb all these attacks, minimize losses, doom drop into the pocket base. ByuN in position. Calming things down a little bit. ByuN stabilizing on 3 bases. Still behind in the economy. Curie's already got a 4th on the way. ByuN none in sight. as ByuN is finally going to be pushing. The armies are missing each other, so this could end up in a weird base trade. We could end up in a really weird scenario if Cure moves out, but no, he's coming back home. ByuN tries to commit. Does get within range of the mineral line. Cure setting up a surround. Ooh, Raven does fall. The Marines, though, they stim on forward, and Cure here overwhelms the army. Yeah, shuts down the tanks. ByuN unable to hold his own. Is expanding, is trying to take another base, but honestly, Cure should not allow this to happen. As long as Cure is able to scout this, though. Drop comes back in. Cure racing back home. Doesn't need to, as yeah, his reinforcements are more than enough. Yeah, more than enough as we do some more. The medivacs, no! Has 3 and 4 medivacs go down. Massive pick off there. A Cure, not like this. He was looking so good here in this game. But 3 full medivacs go down. Ay, ay, ay. ByuN can't keep pushing, but he does suddenly take a supply lead. God, I was in the middle of like blowing my nose, and then I saw the minimap. I was like, oh, it's happening. Is happening here. As ByuN turns the tables on Cure. Jumping into the pockets. Threatening the planetary. At the same time, Cure doesn't turn around. He's going to be committing. Going for the pocket base here of ByuN. He gets a tank. Would even get the CC. Oh yeah, the CC does burn down. Likewise, so does the CC of Cure. Yeah, planetary's up and running. We can't really threaten it. Reinforcements in the main base. Cure defends. Yeah, ByuN with only Marines can't really threaten any of these bases. At least not the 4th or the main. Cure rotating around. Is going to be rotating around. ByuN likewise shocking for him. Both players heavily supply blocked. Both players trying to break free. There we go, we catch a mineral line here at 11, 12 SCVs go down. ByuN is turning back around. He wants to collapse on this, goes for the stim. Big tank volleys going off. He comes in from behind as well, and he swallows up the army. A very nice fight, a very nice engage there from ByuN. But again, ByuN, he's down in the worker count, he's down in the bases. A longer game is not going to be viable here. ByuN has to push. Whether it's shutting down the planetary or the new 4th. Or even the natural scandals reveal it. Again, there's the main floated over. Cure is in position at that main base, but no, we're going straight for the 4th instead. It might be a planetary, but we have tanks. Yeah, it's wide open. The tanks, they shell it down. You shell it down. ByuN headed straight for the main. We do have tanks in position. Or we can slow siege though, as we're within range of the factories. Yeah, factories are forced to lift. At the same time, Cure, just mass expanding towards the north, is going to get caught out by some Marines. Yeah, boys are being pulled here to defend. At the same time, again, this is getting very scrappy. Cure killing another base. Does kill another base. Medevacs returning back home. We do have a lot of reinforcements. We are also heavily supply blocked. ByuN, he needs some depots. Yeah, as Cure here overextends, bleeds out both of his tanks. 2 for 1, not worthwhile. Likewise, he tries to break out of his container in his main base, but it looks like ByuN, he wins on both fronts. Takes out the main army out on the map, is able to break into the production line as well. And Cure, everything is just on fire at this point. He's racing back home. Meanwhile, here comes the main army of ByuN going straight for the third, and there's nothing up here. There's a planetary, there's an orbital, and they're both going to go down. Looks like Cure barely has enough to protect his main, but it doesn't matter, not anymore. Yeah, ByuN, he's going for the kill, he's going for the throw. GG gets called, congratulations! And ByuN is going to be this week's ESL Open Cup Asia champion. GG. GG, well played. Congratulations here. Congratulations to ByuN, as he does take it in the end. It was close. I was expecting an ace match after the opener, after ByuN was getting pulled apart, and he was, by the way. Remember, Cure, he was dropping in the main base, he was pushing at the natural, he had a marauding army over at the third base as well, and Cure, he was able to just maintain his own economic lead. Instead, Cure, he was ahead until he was caught out with his drops. Remember, 3 full medevacs were caught out. That was the moment when ByuN swung things in his favor instead. GG, well played. And ByuN was pretty all in. Cure, I'm just checking the graphs here. Cure, he was perpetually ahead in workers the entire game. The entire game, he was up in workers. Cure was up in economy. If the game went on any longer, it would favor Cure. ByuN, though, instead, he just sent it across the map. He just threw caution to the wind and was able to overwhelm. Was able to catch out those medevacs and eventually pull Cure apart instead. GG. GG, well played. Congratulations here to ByuN. My condolences to Cure, but he had an amazing run himself. He took down Creator, he took down Nightmare, he took down some big names to make it this far in the tournament. So GG, well played to Cure, and well played to ByuN as well. GG, congratulations, and I hope you all enjoyed yourselves. I do apologize for missing ESL Asia last week just because I was under the weather, and I'm still recovering. I'm sure you can tell, I'm sure you can hear it in the voice, and I was constantly muting just to, you know, avoid coughing into the mic. And I should be better in a couple of days. I should be good soon. I mean, I've been sick for over a week, so I'm getting there. So yeah, look forward to that eventually, and until then, I'm gonna try and take it easy when it comes to casting. I know it's against my inner nature. Like, we cast on a daily basis, and we usually cast multiple times a day here on the CranKy Ducklings. But yeah, just because we've been a little bit unwell, we're trying to take it a little bit easier here. As I say that, tomorrow is going to be day 1 of the WTL World Team League qualifiers. I want to be there for it. I want to be there for the WTL qualifiers, but we'll see how we feel. Most likely we'll be there for it. We will not be casting ESL Open Cup. ESL Open Cup Americas, though. Unlikely to be casting tomorrow. Again, I'm just trying to keep things open. I'm just trying to cast, you know, 1 event a day. Usually we cast 2, and tomorrow would have been ESL Asia into Stars War 11. Tomorrow we may just cast Stars War 11. Just only Stars War 11 instead, just to keep things a little bit easier on the throat, on ourselves. And yeah, with that, thank you. Thanks so much for watching. Thanks so much for the support. Hope you all enjoyed the broadcast. Stick around. We're going to be giving another StarCraft streamer a raid. Who do we raid? That is a question. Usually Monsieur Sadsack is the one to receive our raid, but is anyone else streaming? Who do we have? We have Disc, we have Ranger, we have Monsieur Sadsack. Anyone else that we can raid? Let's have a look here. We always raid Sadsack. I kind of want to give some love to Disc. You know, he's a nice guy. He's a nice guy. Canadian Protoss player. And I believe he's going to be playing in tonight's weeklies. So give some love to Disc. Yeah, we'll give him rage, bro. Give him rage. Otherwise, thanks so much for watching. Thanks so much for the support. I'm gonna be heading off here for the night, so we'll see you guys tomorrow. If you want to support us, exclamation mark Patreon in the chat to support the CranKy Ducklings. Otherwise, gracias everyone for watching, and hasta luego. Ciao, papi, ciao, hasta luego. See you tomorrow.